Now, one more thing. I, of course, need to tell you how to submit your talk to Meeting C++, right? It's kind of the point of what we did today. These are kind of the URLs for this. It's similar at other conferences, and just some of this is opinionated, so take it with a grain of salt. You need an account, and you can subscribe, of course, to the newsletter, right? The first step is creating your speaker bio. It's a short description of yourself, maybe add a picture. You can join the review group or receive email notifications on reviews. That's your choice. This box is actually where you put your bio and you can edit it. And I want to point out this symbol, this chain symbol lets you add links, which can be very helpful if you want to link your GitHub repository, your personal website, your blog, and stuff like that. Now you're ready to step 3 to submit your actual talk. Let's break this up. These are the public fields, the talk title and the talk description, which will be visible once you speak at the conference. So on the talk title, keep it short, be precise. Some people like to really include subtitles and make the title as long as they can, and I don't like that, and I will kind of shorten it if I can, if it's too long. Try to avoid certain characters, as you know, with programmers, so HTML, entity conversion, and stuff like that. Of course, exceptions are like C++ and stuff, which is mandatory. That's fine. But if you can avoid it in your title, same goes like for Unicode characters and stuff like that. Can work very wonderful, but also can just, happen that the software the conference uses doesn't really cover these. Good titles are engaging. So how we using the C++ standard for something, memes, introductions, overviews in features, libraries, etc. can be great topics to speak about. Well-known speakers get away with more things than you as a new speaker. Title can be engaging, and I think it's more important for new speakers, but just have a title that you like. That's like also kind of important, that don't submit a talk which the title you don't like. That's like a big sign to change the title. The talk description is what your talk is about. More than one paragraph. You can include code snippets with pre. It's not a blog post. Some speakers like really put a lot into here, and a wall of text is basically achieves only that nobody reads it. Link to important things like your library, code, reference things. Be aware when you paste in this form, there might be copy and paste artifacts from text editors where you copied from. And this is basically where you see the HTML which you're creating, and that's also where you can turn a P element in a pre element where you pasted your code into. The outline is basically how you envision your talk. Talk chapters, slide titles are what I often use, and what other speakers I see are often using is kind of what the people which do the voting or the review on your talk will be seeing. It's a free text file. You can put anything and everything in there. Again, don't put too much in there. It's like, a wall of text will probably not be positive for the reviewers. But this is the part which is not public when the talk is being published that you're speaking at the conference. It's also great for ideas. The audience field below it just gives like a feeling for people at the conference if they're meant to be in that audience. And I have the beginner, intermediate, and advanced options there. Other conferences have like expert, I saw, but yeah, there's like, a lot of people in the audience or generally in our community don't think really that expert is something positive. So there's more options below that. Let's go through them. The talk premieres at Meeting C++ is the first choice. That just means that the talk is not being submitted to a different conference before Meeting C++. It's not important, but for some reason, I, of course, need to have some talks which are premiering and not just redone by speakers. If you presented your talk at CPPCon and you're coming to my conference, that's not a problem. Or if you previously given it at a different conference or at a user group, if you practiced your talk, that's fine. But if you're only submitting this to Meeting C++ because you're a new speaker, or just generally think that, as a speaker, that, hey, that's my time slot to have a new talk ready, then let me know that I can, gives us a bit of a bump. The submission review is a way that I, actually read through your submission and tell you that there is a spelling error, or that maybe you should, how you add links and stuff. And often I see that there's a common bug that people write stuff in the outline, and sometimes then I have to tell people, hey, it would be great if you mentioned that also in your talk description, because if you actually speak about it, it would be great to let people know that, right? And that's very common. There's an option for a second speaker. It's not very common that you give talks with 2 people. That's actually the limit. I don't allow talks with more than 2 speakers. But usually you have like 1 or 2 at the conference. So if that is the case for you, bring along a second speaker. That's what you check. And that triggers a second speaker bio form, which basically lets you fill out the bio for the second speaker. Very important option is the online only option, which allows you to speak at Meeting C++ when you're not able to make it to Berlin or for other reasons. And at the moment, that is very, very few folks. So this is always a great way to get your talk accepted into the conference at the moment. Because I have an online track, which is pre-recorded, and I need to have people speak there. And so some people that are not able to come to Berlin, that is a chance for you to contribute to the conference and give your first or another talk online. There's no on-site only, because some people think that that should also be an option. No, it's not. Everyone may speak online, but it's your choice, right? So once the talks for the conference are selected, I will tell people that I may, and I probably will have still room in the online track. And if they'd like to speak on the online track, then that's the chance to volunteer for that. And the last thing, which is very important, is to submit your talk. Because if it's not submitted, then it's not going to be there. You'll be able to edit it, which I think is important to know. Not every conference allows this, but Meeting C++ allows you to edit the talk after the submission. So if you submitted the talk and the next day you think, I should maybe change the talk description, or maybe in the outline I need to, fine, happens to all of us. But the talk is in the system, even if you misedit. The next steps are, once the call for talks has ended, 1 week where you can edit your submission. Then the voting starts. The talk info is visible. The speaker info isn't so much. Some folks will be able to see that, but usually we want this voting to be anonymous. And then the selection for tracks is guided by the voting results. And with that, thank you for listening. Submit your talk until June 25th this year. And the links you find on the conference page. And questions, if you see this online in the comments, I will answer them. And anyways, this has been now the Lightning Talks.